Hello again, everyone. Edwin Lerner back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Mercury square or opposition the South Node in a natal chart. Now, some of you may remember when I first started my YouTube astrology channel, I did a series on the aspects in a natal chart. They were a little bit concise. Some people may refer to them as snappy. So what I decided to do is make another series on them in which the videos would be a little bit longer and more descriptive. So anyway, first thing up as well, if you have Mercury square or opposite the South Node in a natal chart, there may be difficulty in terms of communication, which is Mercury, about your past, which is the South Node. It could be simply just hard to articulate, what happened, things that happened that were prominent in your past, or maybe you just have difficulty talking about them because, maybe the memories are just very harsh, whatever it may be. If the South Node, say, is in Virgo, maybe the past may be tied in, with something work related, something with employment or one's health, fitness. It may have to do with some kind of criticism. Maybe there was it's a Virgo related profession. Maybe there was some negative or adverse experiences there, whether it be working something connected with analytics, statistics, working as a data analyst, statistician, health and fitness, dietitian or nutritionist. There may be, say if the South Node, is in Capricorn, it's another example. There may have been things that were very depressive, regarding the past that are hard to talk about, or maybe there's just simply, difficulty in terms of articulating those things. It could have been something also, with South Node in Capricorn, could be something business or career related, or something with a more specific Capricorn field, such as architecture, construction, dentistry, accounting, information technology, as some examples. And it may also be hard to put the mind, which is Mercury, on what you need to go away from, which is the South Node. Now, let's say if the South Node is in Aquarius, as an example, there may be some idiosyncratic or rebellious behavior. It could be overly non-conforming, type qualities or behavior that you need to get away from. And it may be hard for whatever reason to concentrate on those things, whether there's some distractions or diversions going on in your life or what have you. Now also too, if you have either of these aspects in your natal chart, another way it could manifest is that any issues that involve the hands, the arms, the nerves, lungs, or breathing, which is Mercury, may have more of a adverse effect on what you're doing, in connection with the South Node energy. I'm going to elaborate on that. That could be, something, things you're naturally proficient in, natural built-in abilities, what may be emphasized or accentuated in the first half of one's life. If you have, the South Node in Aries, as an example, there may be something, some position or field connected, with leadership prowess or ability. There may be it could be an Aries related field, whether it's something connected with the military, carpentry, welding, speech pathology, leadership management position. It could be something with profession associated with the head, such as helmet or hat design, as some examples. Now, also too, these aspects may be inauspicious for short journeys, which is Mercury, to those that are prominent in one's past, which is the South Node. Whether it could be, people that were prominent in one's past, or it could simply be places, locations that were prominent in one's past as well. The thing is, if you have the the South Node, going to say Pisces, as an example, places that were prominent in one's past could be, docks or places where you fished, or something with boating, Um, it could be, going to the sea for whatever reason. It may be, going to, places, that, are connected with fantasy or poetry or dancing or even the metaphysical, which includes astrology as some examples. Now, also, too, Mercury square or opposite the south node in the natal chart may also manifest in some difficulty in terms of thinking, which is Mercury, about the overdeveloped and redundant qualities connected with the south node position. So the thing is, if you have, going to the south node, Virgo, as an example, which is what I have, there may be some qualities, connected with overanalysis. It's like analyzing or seeing the Dwad within the Dwad in an astrological placement. South node in Aquarius could simply be, unorthodox or unique just for the simple sake of being unique. Um, for no other reason. The thing about, these placements as well is that, communication, writing, manual dexterity, which is Mercury, may conflict, with what you may be naturally proficient in. Which, and also that first half of one's life, which is emphasized, which is the south notice with the energy that could be emphasized at that time in one's life. And you may wonder, well, how would one conflict with the other? Well, it could be, some kind of endeavors or tasks you may have to do that involve, a lot of writing or communication or manual dexterity, which can include, auto or refrigeration or mechanics as some examples may conflict, with what you could do, the things that you have that natural built-in ability for, what you're naturally good at, which is the south node. If the let's say if the south node is in Taurus, as an example, it could simply be generating your own income, having good financial acumen, things that require, persistence, patience, perseverance. It could be a Taurus-related field, or there could be geology, carpet laying, banking, finance, something with architecture, agriculture, gardening, farming, cultivation, as some examples. And also, too, Mercury square or opposite the south node in the natal chart may also be expressed in drug trouble in terms of analyzing, which is Mercury, the natural, built-in abilities one may have, which is the south node, and analyzing, for example, seeing, how you can use those abilities productively. As an example, how you can benefit most from them, how you may benefit others, in the process. Say if the south node is in Libra, as an example, it could be, natural built-in abilities may be tied in with simply being like a negotiator or something with arbitration, doing things of a legal nature, artistic, endeavors, arbitration, things that are, matters with relationships, bringing others, together, reconciliation, expressing intellectual sociability as some examples. Now, also, too, siblings, cousins, and neighbors, which is Mercury, may not be fully beneficial to what you're emphasizing in that first half of life, which is the south node. Now, let's say, if you have the south node in Gemini, as an example. Well, the things that you may emphasize in the first half of life just may simply be, diversifying, expressing versatility, dexterity. It may be something associated with communication, manual dexterity. It may be, doing something, that requires a lot of short journeys or mobility, a Gemini-related profession, such as data or satellite communications, as some examples. And also, too, the south node energy may not have been overly, beneficial or advantageous during one's early education, which is Mercury. Going to the south node in Virgo, as an example, It might be maybe could be some cynical or negative judgmental qualities, may have had a negative effect on the early education. South Node in the zodiac sign Cancer may be overly clingy, or moody or temperamental, not feeling like doing things, at times overly emotional, may not have been auspicious, during early education, which is Mercury, as some examples. Anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, Edwin Leonard saying, stay well.